to travel more outside African Peninsula without meaning about it. I feel proud of it, and I don't feel shame about it. Dale, Manoli.
I can't remember seeing you know.
No.
Yeah, I can't remember seeing. I think yes, it's radio announcer. Yeah.
And how about this guy?
Yeah, he's still around. He's a conductor on a van. Yeah, he dances. Yeah.
The British take the girlfriend from St. Vincent, the rest disappear. The rest of the people, the subject like slaves, that's why they forget.
You could actually
Yeah.
shoot. Yeah, are you shooting?
It's a couple. I was watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was trying to teach you as well. Okay, that's the segment that you're in. And then there's one more segment at National Heroes Day where you're I have the Saba. What do you think about the activities today? I mean, the purpose of today? Yeah. You know her?
Yeah.
History students, however.
All right, that's all I need to show you. All right. So the rest of it is the story of the film is the story of, it's the story of the rupture, no, the resistance. Most of the information so far from the resistance and the rupture. So now I'm talking about the repair, the repair part, the part where, you know, so I have some questions to ask you. And I need your approval. Did you already sign something yesterday? Ask you something about, should I tell you?
Okay.
But we're gonna set the camera up here. Hold that. Look at this. And maybe just like 5 seconds.
Of
Just the price list.
Just the price list?
Yeah. Doesn't cut away. Like the other images?
yeah,
Should I
I
tell you?
don't know.
Maybe 5 seconds. And then I think we're ready to roll. I got the second one ready.
Okay.
Okay, let's try that, see how that looks. Just put this in the pocket.
Sure.
So let's see.
Just to get island in.
Let's see what it looks like without the light. Let's try it without the light. Let's just see what it looks like.
I need to.
What do you think? It's got a little sheen on one sheet.
One sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. What we could do is try and bounce the light or back off onto that side and then balance it up.
All right. Wow. I wonder if we shouldn't shut that window too.
Shut that one too. Right?
Yeah, sorry, I know it's gonna be
No problem.
warm in here.
Yeah.
Maybe shut the curtain. Yeah, how's that? Now sit down, let's see. That's better. That's fine.
That's fine?
Yeah, we'll put that.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Put on your light a little bit.
Getting into it?
Yeah.
Expert technician. You think that would be good?
It's looking a little bit yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll just put me into white balance again. So, okay. Still, still kind of yellow.
A little bit. If, with the light off, you think it looks too dark?
Too dark, yeah.
Too dark. Yeah, okay. Well then, put the light on. Okay, let me just look. 1,
Yeah.
2. 1, 2. There's still a, I think we do have to shut that window,
Yeah.
because it's still
Shiny.
shining.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have to shut it all the way, you could leave it open a little bit. Yeah, that might work. Okay, try that. I think that's much better.
Okay.
I think that's much better.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
much better.
Okay, so you like the tightness? It's tight enough for you? Head, enough headroom, everything?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. I think that's nice. Okay.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, okay. And you'll keep them sort of to the right.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
So if he looks at me and talks, is it still good?
Yeah.
Maybe I should keep him to the left because he's looking across.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Stay looking up like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let me sit down and, right, like you're having a conversation with me.
Oh, I see. Okay.
oh, change my position.
Oh,
That's-
yeah, that makes sense. Talk to each other.
Right. It is better like that way.
No, the other way.
The other
Go
way?
to the other way.
Yeah.
This way.
That's perfect.
It's
Yeah,
better.
that's perfect.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Good?
And you want to get it, you don't want to chop his forehead off, so a
No,
little,
yeah, more headroom, right?
a little bit, not much.
No.
Just the top of his head, but not to chop the top of his head off. So you see, you know, the top of his head.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, ready?
Right.
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay, rolling. Okay, so tell me your name and tell me where you're from.
Yeah, Augustine Sutherland.
Oh yeah, you want to do a sound check?
Yeah, sound check is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, Augustine Sutherland. Born and grew up in Sandy Bay. Then moved to Cumberland because of Soufre 1979 eruption. Yeah, we moved to Cumberland. And then from Cumberland, I removed back to Sandy Bay, then back to Kingston.
So where do you live now, and what do you do?
I live in New Montrose right now, and I do cosmetic. My job is I work for South Sheen Cassen as a technical consultant. Different to that, I do my cosmetologist. Yeah.
Do you like what you do?
Yes, very much. I like it.
How did you learn how to do it? What got you interested in it in the first place?
Well, in the first place, you wanted something to do, like you're looking for something that you will like, that will carry you a long way in life. So I choose navigation, and then I choose cosmetologist. And I stick to cosmetologist because I could be right home instead of going out and coming back. I decided to stay with my cosmetologist.
Okay, now, do you call yourself a Carib or a Garifuna? What do you call yourself? What is your heritage?
Well, I call myself a black Carib or a black Kalinago man. After understanding what Carib really means, I try my best not to stretch it further than how it went already. So I prefer to be a proud black Kalinago man.
What do you mean about that? I don't understand what you mean after learning about what Carib means. Can you explain that?
After you find out the real meaning of a Carib, I decide not to use it because of it's a disgrace to know that okay, you name by something that is not good, you know. So who would like the name to be like something that is not good? So that is my real Carib. What they interpreted to mean is a cannibal. So I decided not to go because I'm not a cannibal, and what they say the Caribs is cannibals. So my ancestors was never cannibals. So I decided to try my best not to use that word.
And when did you learn? How did you learn about that Carib means cannibal? Who taught you that? How did you learn that?
In school, I remember in school, I get into a fight in school when my teachers, when they teach in history, they used to say that the Caribs was cannibals and it was warlike, and this is what I get in school. So it's from in school I get it from. So I fight back in school one day and say no, the Caribs was never cannibals and they was never warlike. So this school I get it from.
So you got it from your teachers how old were you?
I was 16 years old. Yeah, 16.
Tell me more.
I was 12 years old. Yeah, I was 12 years old when that teaching was established. Yeah.
Where was the school? Tell me
more. No, this is Cumberland. After the Soufre eruption, and we migrate to Cumberland, which is Spring Village School. That school we attend. After the eruption take place, we go to Carapan, and from Carapan everybody they going back home. So my parents they take me to Spring Village, where we go to that school, and then from after finish school I went back to Sandy Bay.
What did you do when your teacher called you a Carib, or did your teacher, first of all, did your teacher know you were a Carib?
Yes, my teacher and the other student, they know that I was a Carib. Anytime you go from Sandy Bay and go to the next location, you're known to be a Carib. Whether you're black or no care what color you is, they call you Carib, stupid Sandy Bay Carib, and these things went on and on. So that time, after the Soufrière eruption, it started to blow up a kind of racial thing among the people that running from the Soufrière. And it caused a problem, but some people don't like to hear it. But the truth hurt. And we have a lot of really pull and tug in that time with everybody. In the camp that you settle, in the school, as refugee, I just say, the people in the neighborhood, some people feel real good, some people have good time, and some have bad time. But we, personally, I know myself, we have a bad time. And I know it have other people who go through the same problem, who have bad time too. In school, because you move to a different location, so you move to a different school, and out of school, you get that problem.
What happened out of school? Can you give me an example of something that happened to you out of school?
Out of school, I remember the same Cumberland school. I can remember out of school after that day when history was taught. After going home, it caused fighting between the students, which is me, and two other guys. They start to jump up and call me stupid Sandy the Carib, and they start beating me up. And I remember I had to walk through the bush to go home to meet my parents. And then after, it happened so for quite a while. And then I couldn't take it no more. Then it caused some fighting. Then I do some fighting, coming from school, using my pencil and eraser. And then things get quiet after that.
What did you do?
Well, I ain't do nothing. When I reach home, I ain't tell my mother nothing, because we are accustomed to tell my mother that we meet in a hard time with the people. They call him stupid Sandy Bakery. So my mother, she say, well, she's sorry that she bring with her, right, in this area. Although my mother belongs to that area, right. So eventually, that same evening, when them two guys get licks from me, the parents, the grandmother, bring them to my mother and calling, Miss Sutherland, oh, Miss Sutherland, watch where your boy do with me picnic. So from that, my mother ain't say nothing, and it kind of cooled down. But not too long after, I removed back to Sunday.
I didn't understand what you said, so say that again. You said that their grandmother brought...
Yeah, their grandmother brought them to my mother to tell my mother, watch where your boy do with me picnic, because it was two of them with two different parents, but one parents come.
But you said with pick me?
Yes, watch where boy do with me picnic.
What do you mean picnic?
The next son. So that is a term that they use, picnic, or watch where your son do with my son.
Okay.
You understand? But it's dialect.
It's dialect.
It's dialect. That is what they say. That's how they say it. So I say it just like how they say it.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
that's how they say it.
Okay, that's fine. So how did you even know that you were a Carib? How did you know that you were Carib or?
Okay. My what I learned from my father, my grandfather, and my grandmother, even my great grandmother, what they normally don't hide nothing from us. So they will say that okay, your father is a yellow Carib, your grandmother is a Maroon Indian. So you grow with that, knowing that you see your grandfather, you see how he look, then you live with that. So that's how I know that I'm from that descendants.
What did they tell you about their childhood or about the history of the Caribs? That's two different questions.
Yes, my grandfather, especially my grandfather, now they will say, as children, when you all go out, be careful and try and come back home early, because in this area, anytime you see, because Sandy Bay, where I grew up, is on the coast, so, and the Atlantic Ocean. So you see these huge ships pass sometimes with big funny sails. Growing up as a child, my grandfather will tell you, okay, oh, you see these things, you're almost careful when you see these boats passing. Because anytime they pass in, you don't know, somebody from these boats could come and take you all. No, they say that because of what happened all year on, what they hear from the other parents. So my grandfather would have heard that from his parents, and his parents' parents would have heard that because of what used to take place in that time.
So your grandfather was afraid somebody would come off a boat
And take his grandchildren then. Because they have that in their mind. What used to happen long time. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
So they don't know when it will stop or if it stops. So they make sure telling you that. So I'm glad that all these things that they tell me, I still have them to remember. Because my great-great-grandmother, we call she grandma, she was alive when 1902 eruption take place, and she died after 79 eruption. So she have a good age, and she gave we a lot of these stories as well.
Can you remember another story that she told you that stands out in your mind?
What stand out in my mind that always that the people below the river don't like you. The people below the river don't like you all. And we grew up to see it after it disappeared. And I'm glad right now that you could say it may be totally gone because we ain't have that kind of thing in St. Vincent again. Right now living, I don't think. But I come to face that what they say come to pass. They wasn't lying at all. It was the truth. They don't like you all. Because what you will hear is all this stupid Sandy be Carib. Go back Sandy be. So what they tell you that you would never get through if you go to Kingston because they didn't want you to work with them. So these are things that stand out from my grandparents, what they were saying to me.
So that's the negative stuff I've heard that from other people.
Okay.
What do they teach you that makes you proud to be a Carib?
To be satisfied with whatsoever you have. That brings me a long way. Now, the Kalinago people or the Black Carib people, as they say, no, we didn't have much, especially when it comes to education. You have to have money to educate your children. Most of the farm, most of the indigenous people, some have lands, but the lands ain't belong to them because it's taken away so much years ago from them, and they have piece of land working now. And that piece of land, they rear some goats or do some farming. So that will help to feed the family. But when it comes to pay for schooling and transportation, moving and all like that, and to get somebody in Kingston to go to a secondary school or go to a different, learning resource institute or thing like that, it was never there because of the finance. It wasn't there.
So you also are head of this Carib. Is it a performance group or what is it? What is the name of the group that you?
Yes,
and did you organize it? Can you tell me about that?
Yes, as I see things going, grow up and see things going, I wanted to see my people lighten. I want to see my people in a different light. So I decided, I say, you see that? I'm going to start something that's going to trigger people's mind. So I started to put on my Carib outfit, walk with my spade, doing some things that people think is strange, but is what's handed down from my grandparents. So I start doing it. One of the things that I start to do is to go to Dashta Hill and to go to other caves that I know. We have a big cave in Balen, copper hole, huge cave that my grandfather said that some of the people save or hide during the time of war. That's the history that he have. In the time of people running from the British, they hide there. So I choose to go to these places more often, and just in my outfit, so somebody will know, well, no, somebody still leave back. And to show the light where plenty people could see, well, no, they civilize, not like how they think. So that is what I choose to do. And today I regret I choose it, because after I start to put on my clothes and move from one place to the other, I have different groups that decide to follow me. And I decide to take some of my family, and they come to me, and then we start to do a different thing. I remember that Nixon, he is one of my cousins, and we get together, and there is Chatier Youth Movement. We get together and we start to do different things around the country, move from Leeward, higher up Fancy, Grenadines, and start to do performance and different dances and different food, different variety of food, and people get to know about the people and see the people different. So that is what I like about it. Now it's not like before. Now everybody wants to be a Garifuna or Black Carib. That is what everybody's saying now. And we're glad that it's somebody get up and start it.
So when did you start this? Do you have a name for your group? You said Chatoya Youth Group?
Chatier Youth Group is Nixon, my cousin, he started it, but my group, the Warriors group, right, that is part of my group that we started, but the Chatier Youth Movement and the Warriors group get together and form one. So the Chatier group now fall off. They ain't there no more. So we continue with the Warrior group and going on still. So we don't know what will happen later on. But we know we get that what we want, what we're looking for, and what we decide to do, we get it. So we see everybody now come on board, so we cool now. We have no problem. We're glad that it moved to this far.
So that time that, as you saw in the film, you saw where you were all on the
Baliso.
Yeah, on the way to Baliso. Were you invited to go to that, or how did you choose to go to Baliso with that particular group?
That trip to Baliso, we always hear about Baliso, and the only way you could get to Baliso is by somebody who can afford to pay to go to Baliso. So that time the group that I used to be with off and on,
the Garifuna Foundation?
Yes.
For Zoila?
Zoila, Ellis Brown, yes. I was part of them. So they invited us, our group, to go along with them. So that is what I do. And I take more than one trip with them to that island.
The one that you saw in the film, had you been there before, or was that your first trip?
Oh, no, I was there before. I was there like 3 times before. Yeah.
How did you feel, how did it make you feel to see the Hondurans dancing on the deck?
I feel proud of the visiting team that came here, that they still could do something to show me, and I wish if I could have danced like them. That is why on the film day I was glad when this Andrean come to show me exactly how to do it. I feel proud that they could do it and come back to show us how to do it. I feel very proud of that.
Would you like to see more of that?
I would like to see my whole country, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, have this dance or have these dance as their own as well, and be professional in these dance, that they could in turn make some money for themselves.
Do you see any steps going forward to make this happen? If so, can you explain?
No, I right now with this particular dance, I ain't see nothing as yet. I waiting to see what happens. I ain't see nothing.
How's it gonna happen?
I think somebody will have to get up and do some sacrifice and say, well, okay, they are going to take this into my hands and show the people them how to do it. Or maybe government will have to come on board and say, okay, I will bring somebody from Belize and to put in the schools to get these little children out of the school to teach them adults how to do this dance, how to do this dance. I think it will be good. Or some private person could take it upon themselves.
And when the Honduran dance troupe was here, did you have a chance to talk to either Armando or any of the dancers? And if so, what was that interaction?
Yes, I have opportunity speaking to them, and they gave to me the connection numbers to get to them. But on trying to get to them, I don't know if the numbers didn't right, but I didn't get to them at all. They gave me numbers that I could reach them. Even one radio announcer, he gave me numbers to reach them to, but I don't know. I never get in touch with them again.
Did you have a chance to talk to them at all?
Yes, I have a chance to talk to one of the radio announcer, one of the dancers, and the way they dance, how they make money. They move from one part of the island to the other, and even go to the States to dance, professional dance. And I think that's very good. I tell them that's very good, and I wish if our people could get that same opportunity. But they say to get that opportunity, that's what they tell me, to get opportunity, you have to get to them and with the government here to do something, but I don't know what happened after that. But they would feel good that somebody here get them back here to do something, but I don't think it did happen.
So you saw the Garifuna language, the dance, you saw them doing
the food.
The food, you saw them?
Yeah, I saw them do some of the food. And I think the group before them, yeah, we did invite them to do some food.
So tell me again talk to me about what you were thinking when and what you're feeling when you're seeing this, those descendants of the exiled come back.
What I could say, when I go to the airport, I was one who went to the airport to welcome them to St. Vincent. And when I see they come off the aircraft and step on the ground, I see some of them bow down to the ground and kiss the ground. I feel thrilled because, they're like my brothers, they're like my sisters who come back to our shows. And greeting them, I tell you, I move to tears because I know that these people, they're genuine and they come here to make a link back with me. And that link, when we reach now and start dancing, I see the real truth in it. I see, yes, I wish they could always be here to do that. But as I say again, nobody make no connection to bring them back. I will feel so good if it happens. But them touching down in St. Vincent here, they make a difference in the whole Kalinago community. And maybe as well, the whole of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
How? Can you tell me, what do you mean how they made a difference?
They make a difference because people in general love the dance. They have some move that you don't see anywhere else. So you check all dances around the globe. The Garifuna dance is unique, it's special. It's not like no other dance, they move.
So it made you feel proud?
Yeah, it made me feel proud of that you have something unique that nobody else have, unless you're willing to teach them.
So maybe them coming showed the population, I'm putting words in your mouth,
yeah.
But showed the population of St. Vincent that the Caribs aren't cannibals after all, that they're more sophisticated, or they have, you know, they have a rich culture. Is that
Yeah,
something? Can you talk about that?
Yes. Again, let me go back. When I see they come to St. Vincent from Belize, I feel good because you could see, and other people could see that. Well, really, the truth is that the Caribs, as they say, wasn't cannibals, because look, they're professional people, and look the kind of dance that they're doing. Look the dances that they're doing. So, I hope people see it different now. That these people that come from Belize and who here in St. Vincent, they are one. It's no different. We have the same kind of thing. The only difference there is they continue to do theirs and we couldn't do ours because we live here with the people who didn't want us here. We live and carry out what they're supposed to do, where they end up. So it was different.
Okay, thank you. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Okay. All right, that's great. That's really good. That's going to be a very important part of the film to hear about that. So now I want to talk a little bit more. I have one thing that I wanted to talk more about. There seems to be some controversy on the island right now concerning the name. Carib, Black Carib, Yellow Carib, Garifuna, Kalinago. I find it kind of all confusing.
Yeah.
And can you talk about that? Do you also find it confusing, or can you talk a little bit about currently there's a lot of discussion about how to call yourselves?
Well, with I personal and some people that I know very much, they're not confused about themselves and about their names, because truly, right before their eyes, they can see that their father or the grandfather or grandmother is living truth. That is the Kalinago people. That is the nation native. So if you don't know where you come from, like if you will find somebody arguing, well, they don't know who they is, it's because they ain't seen the grandmother, or they probably don't know the grandfather. So they black out. They don't know who they is. So they have a right to argue. But for we, Garifuna, Caribs, and African mix, we know that we are Garifuna people, descendants from the Kalinago people, or the Caribs as they call them. So there's no mix up in that. So who want to mix up themselves is because they don't know about the grandmother or the grandfather. And I could tell them that. Because if you know that, it's no mix up there. So I don't know what all the mix up and carry on in St. Vincent about. So I will advise people to look for the grandmother or the grandfather and get it right with them.
What did your grandmother or grandfather call themselves?
My grandmother, as I say, was an Amerindian Indian married to a yellow Carib. They make I to know that my grandmother is an Amerindian, my grandfather is a yellow Carib. That's what they tell us. And I see it because there was two different kind of people. Now when I reach to my father now, my father was a yellow Carib, my mother was an African, a black woman. So then now we became the Garifuna. It's easy for me to understand. So I grow with that in my heart, and I'm proud to be a Kalinago man, a black Kalinago. And I walk the street with my head up because of that, especially when I see my brothers and sisters from Belize come here. And nobody is going to take that away from me. And I know my history very good. So I love that.
So that's good. That's very clear. Yeah,
okay.
That's very clear. I'm going to wait until that booming stops, right? Because we can hear that. Can you hear it?
No, okay.
Okay. So let's see. Let me look and see what else. So did you, when you were dancing on Valley So and he was teaching you, did you learn any of the dances? Have you been able to learn?
Very much so. If it's one thing I always remember that piece that he showed me, movements of the waist and the foot, and I always practice it because for myself, I'm glad to know I have a little taste of it, so I could continue with it, and I still have it in me. If he come back here, anytime he could continue to show me the rest of it, but I know I take what he showed me, and I like it very much. I wish if he come back to do something here with me.
That's pretty clear. That's very clear. What about the other guys that were on the other warriors? Tell me about them. Do you know how they felt having?
Yeah, well, I could say because I is the leader, so we talk after each session, after each voyage. We speak, say what is good, what is not good, and they felt very good. They felt warm. They felt proud to know, well, we on the same boat. Them from Belize and we from here. We on the same boat. We feel proud that we family, we brothers and sisters come back here to be among us for a short period of time, and when they go in we feel away because we know we go to the airport to receive them, and when they leave in we did feel feel sad, but what they experience in dancing from the brothers, they still have it as well because they do like everyday dancing or every weekend dancing as well. So they would have grabbed that piece of dancing even a little faster than I will grab it because they're accustomed dancing. Yeah.
Okay. How did you feel when you went to Baliso? Now, your ancestors didn't go to Baliso. It was those who were exiled who went to Baliso. So does Baliso have any meaning to you?
Well, I won't say my ancestors ain't go to Baliso. No care how you put it, part of your family end up in Baliso. That's why we say we brothers and sisters will come from Belize.
You probably can hear that, right?
Yeah.
So let's let it go by. So how do you feel when you go to Baliso? Especially now, I hear it's for sale.
When we go to Baliso, I have a good feeling, meaning that this piece of land should put aside from every Kalino Agonian or every Garifuna to come and visit, knowing that this is where the family did put to death. I will say so, put to death. But most of them didn't die. They move on. So it really burned me to know that this piece of land ain't really belongs to we. In the first place, why they put we there is because they know it was ours. But it just means we couldn't survive there. But it was ours from the beginning. That is why they carry we there. Or carry our ancestors there. So let it be known and let it be continued our property instead of going and sell it. Now I understand that is what they're going to do, sell it. But it could cause some fire to blaze. If that happened, nobody know. I would like to see what happened.
Okay, that makes sense. What about when you were on Baliso, there was a fire and they put fruit around, the ritual that was taking place. Did you know much about what was going on? Was it explained to you?
Yeah, that.
Can you talk about that, please?
That part of the history, that part of the history cut off from what I know. So, explaining to somebody else exactly what take place there, I don't know. But I have the opportunity to ask the other guy what take place there. He said it's one of them that says the African tradition, part of the fruits and things that they have there around the fire. So I didn't have much explanation about the food that, or the fruits that put there. But when come to the fire that was there, I know about the fire because the fire led by me. And here in my older head start, when we light the gum that we put there, our ancestors, before they cut down a tree to make the canoe or the kayu, they light the gum from the tree, which the gum gave a sweet scent. So they light the gum and they sing and sing, and they say that the smoke carry the prayers and thanks to the higher one. So that's happened when we light the fire. The smoke take the prayers.
Oh.
But the fruits are wrong. It's a different thing. But I could tell you about the fire. That is it signifying that it smoke take.
So was this something that you added, or is that something that the Hondurans?
No, this is something that we do when we go to Baliso. This is something that we do sometime when we go to up to Dasher Hill. To show people, well, this is part of what our ancestors used to do before they cut any tree down, or before they make a canoe to use to go fishing out the kayu. Because today, many people come and say what you're doing is evil. But I tell the same people who tell me it's evil, they don't know what they're saying. If they ask, then they will know what to say. Now, you see, I tell some again, because you have some come and tell me that that we working with the devil spiritual things. So
Can you hear the dogs?
No.
Okay, sorry.
so
You pick up again. You said some people. Can you repeat that?
yes.
Some people.
Some religious people, I should say, they always come into me and say, oh, you're going to Baliso, you're all going to wake up the dead, you're all doing spiritual work there. So I say, no, what spiritual work you telling me about? I don't know. So they tell me when I light the fire and what we're doing is not good. We're waking up the dead. So I say, no, they ain't ready to wake up. So I say, what we're doing is showing what our ancestors used to do when they're giving thanks. And this is it. So I say to some of these people, no, you have the Bible. My ancestors didn't have the Bible, but you have the Bible today, and you don't give thanks, or you hardly want to give thanks. But my ancestors didn't have the Bible, but they know that is somebody higher than them. So they light that and they smoke, they carry praise and thanks to the higher one. So you have the Bible and you ain't giving no thanks. So from that, I think they stop interfere with me a little. But some of them still believe that it is like we're going to Baliso to invoke what I don't know. So I think they need to get a little more understanding about their culture. Or maybe it's not their culture, so they behave so.
Very interesting. I didn't even know that was going on.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that I don't know about what's going on? I mean, when you go around to, as warrior, do people make fun of you, or do they accept you, or what's the reaction of people?
Well, when we just in our tribal clothes and move from place to place, I will say 99% of the people, they feel proud that these guys, they know and they're proud of who they are. The other 1%, as from the beginning, they confused. They still want to know who these people are. So we don't really study them. We hold our head up high, proud that we know that we are descendants of the Carib people.
So now, I see that you, or maybe you can tell me a bit about two things. I see that you've got this village and you're fishing and you're wearing these tribal clothes and you carry spears. Where did you learn all of this? Where did you learn how to be a Carib?
Well, you ain't have to learn to be a Carib. You're born a Carib. You ain't choose that. Now, when come to a hunting tool, you know that your ancestors used to use these things as their weapon. So you go in hunting, you do the same thing. You have a bow and arrow, so you walk with it. And in my childhood growing up, I remember one time a police take a bow and arrow from me. I don't know if he did scare me with the bow and arrow or what, because in them days police didn't have guns. But I don't have a bow and arrow, but I use my bow and arrow in the mountain, shooting crab or crayfish and them things. And growing up with that bring me right to where I is here now, still with the spear.
So who had a spear when you were a kid?
Well, no one have a spear, but your older generation told you that.
Under what circumstances did they tell you?
Well, if you hunting today, up to today, they still carry spear in the mountain to hunt iguana. Iguana was one of the food of the indigenous people. So you still carry spear with a steel tip to hunt iguana. You carry spear in the mountains to hunt a manikou, a possum. So these are things that nobody did not do. You know what I mean? It just hand down from generation to generation.
What about the tribal clothes that you wear? Where did you see that?
The tribal clothes that we wear, part of it as well from we grandparents would tell you how our ancestors used to dress, and from that the Dominicans, they tell you as well how the Carib dress. So we get it from there, yeah, especially the Dominicans.
Have you traveled to Dominica to meet up with the Carib?
Yes, I traveled to Dominica. Some of them come here as well, and we interact. Yeah, so we move as friends. Yeah.
And what do you learn from them?
Some of the things I learned from the Caribs is the way they make baskets, the craft. I get some input from them. Yes.
Okay, let me look and see if there's anything. What else? I think it's really very, I appreciate your doing this, talking to me. I'm learning a lot, and you're passionate about what you're saying, so
Okay.
I appreciate it, especially because I really didn't, I have the video, but I really didn't know how you thought or how you felt.
Okay.
So now there's, more personal story behind
Okay.
it. And Odette talks about how her parents and grandparents used to sit under the moonlight and they would tell stories. Is this something that your parents or grandparents did?
Same thing, yeah. Same thing, we sit under a coconut tree, yeah, and we in the yard sometimes in moonlight, and because at them time they growing up in Sandy Bay, you have no electric light like other people. You in
You don't hear those dogs?
No. I only hear it, in fact, I don't hear it in the headphones.
Okay, great. Well, there's some wild dogs out there.
Yeah.
So again, tell me more about.
Yes. As well, my parents. We have in living in Sandy Bay is a village that over the river you have no electric light, so you have to depend on the moonlight or lantern that you have in your house. So the moonlight used to be really enjoyable for people to come out and play with the children, because no TV, no this, you know what I mean? So some of the things that we used to play ring games as family, make family more loving and together. So we form a ring, family thing right in your yard, and you're singing and you're moving around and playing, and you sometimes you have stone and you stoop down and you move one stone to the other, and you know what I mean? You have one stone, if five of you have 5 stone, and you keep moving the stone as fast as you could and singing and dancing. You stoop down but you're dancing, you're moving. It's nice. The same thing with moonlight again. We have your martyr and your pestle, and you singing and you moving your martyr up, down, you come up, somebody go down, come up, and you pong in your root or you pong in your cassava, and then you siphon the cassava, you siphon and you singing and you dancing in moonlight. And you're surprised when you wake up, when you finish, you go sleep and you wake up next morning as a child, you make cassava bread, don't make, and all them things to make cassava bread to eat. You only know that was there in the matter ponging it, but sometimes you don't get to see how it make. It's after growing up again, you know what I mean, a little bigger, a little older, you know, well, okay, this is the other part of this thing here. So you see in the other part how to deal with it. But from the beginning, you only know how to, because the matter is things that you exercise, you enjoy it, you know what I mean? Going up and come down to ponging that thing there. So that's part of the moonlight thing growing up in Sandy there. It was nice that your parents show you, hand down to you.
That sounds like it was nice.
Yeah, it was nice. So not the ring game alone, you know, not the ring game alone. That part of it was nice, the pounding of the cassava.
What kind of music did they play?
Well, you ain't had nothing to play music, so it's just singing. You sing some old folk songs that sometimes you don't even remember some of them songs. They moonlight. One the thing
could you sing one?
I wish I could. I'm not a good singer, that per se, but it's we in the moonlight. We in the moonlight, chalala, we in the moonlight, moving, chalala, all these kind of things. These kind of songs, I know, but I really can't bring them now, you know, but they used to be nice, you know.
Maybe when I'm in Sandy Bay, I will ask some people.
Yeah, some of these old people, they remember these things because, you know what I mean, they sing them. But you get caught up with so much things sometimes. Some of these things, they don't come to you when you really want them.
Well, I think you've told me a lot. Maybe there's a little bit that you could just tell me. You've told me a lot, and I appreciate it very much. And I don't have a whole lot more to ask you. Except one question. I wanted to know about Chatoyer. Do you know much about Chatoyer? What do you know about him? I hear he was a paramount chief. I hear that he died at Dorchester Hill, that they can't find his body, that he was a paramount, that he was very smart, that he had a lot of military prowess, that he was well known by others. Can you tell me a little?
Yes, what I heard about Joseph Chief Chatier, that one of the things that really make me think is the sword fight that he get dying. That one really make me think. And personally, I don't really think he get die in a sword fighting. I don't think so. My personally feeling, I figure that he was ambushed. That's my feeling, that he was ambushed. I ain't saying that he was so smart that he could die otherwise. I ain't think that he would get his death by a sword so close, knowing that a man that is so intelligent will see you with a sword and go and plant himself before you for you to chuck a sword into his stomach. I don't think he was that backward. Because he was an intelligent man, according to what I heard about Joseph Trichartier, especially from the French. The other side won't give you the story like that. And what they do with his body, that story ain't clear to me up to today. I would like to know, because we have plenty of historians around. I ain't hear nobody say much about that part as yet.